Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm Shannon. This is Lifestyle Manifesting. And on my channel, I discuss manifesting as a lifestyle, every area of your life. Be the designer, the director, the creator of your life. You are the operant power, and you don't need any other manifestation coach because the processes that I give here create success. You are success. Declare it. Declare that you are success. Claim it. Claim that you are success. You are a successful manifester. You are a master manifester. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how do you stay in the state of your wish fulfilled, okay? Staying in the state of your wish fulfilled. Staying in the place in your mind, knowing that you have your desire. Well, it's really important. What are you doing as you wake up? You want to create some habits in your day. Create the habits that you start actually the night before. Create the intention as you fall asleep, and you're going to create the intention that you wake up in a new reality, right? You're waking up every day, solidifying the new reality. So start with your intention in the evening. And then as you wake up, you want to have habits that keep you aligned to your desired state. Write down a little list of things that you can do. For example, meditation in the morning, a 10-minute meditation to clear your mind. Then spend a little time with gratitude. Spend time, just 5 to 10 minutes, grateful for the things that you have. Spending that moment in gratitude is going to align you with living in the end. And that's something that you could do throughout the day. Think about all the things that you appreciate. How you appreciate yourself and how you appreciate others, the things in your life that you already appreciate. This is how you live in your desired end, by creating habits, because you got to stay on target. So put some habits. You can use in your calendar blocking. Okay, so use blocking within your calendar to block times during the day. The times that you are meditating, time block. The times that you are saturating yourself in gratitude, time block. And then it's whether you script out the story of living in the end, you affirm the story of living in the end, or visualize, whatever is your preferred technique to live in the end. Spend 5 to 10 minutes doing that. So time block in the morning that you're doing these things. Set yourself up for success by doing it first thing in the morning, okay? You set your day for success by setting your intentions in the morning, and you create the blueprint of who you are. Now, how do you stay in the state the rest of the day? You decide that you know it. You decide that just because you imagined your desire, you decide that it's done. You decide that you know, right? You're just going to trust. And really trust or faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. So you just have to stay loyal to the vision. You consistently stay loyal to the vision that you already have your desire. A couple different ways you could do it. If you're old school and you want to write it on a piece of paper, write on a piece of paper. Write on the piece of paper that you already have your desire, whatever that is. It's specific, and put it in your purse, put it in your wallet, put it in your pocket. Let that be with you through the day, or make an alert on your phone. Make an alert on your phone every morning that says, I already have this desire. This desire is already mine. I am the operant power. One or all of that. Maybe you just have a little rampage that you need to see and remind yourself who you are. Another thing, I have my self-concept course. If you create the habit of waking up and living in gratitude, and you have done my self-concept course, then what you could do is implement that through the day consistently. That's a blueprint to help you stay on target and on task, and it gives you a plan of action of what you're going to do. You're going to read, as part of that self-concept course, you're reading a letter that you wrote to yourself. So you're living in the end, reading that letter, feeling that state of being. That's how you live in the end. That's how you stay in the state. You stay in the state by consistently reminding yourself. You're just gonna consistently remind yourself. And I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions. My relationship was going really well, but since last month, we're fighting nonstop, almost broke up. All right, so what is the whole conversation around, right? What is the fighting around? That's what you want to ask yourself. Get a little more clear. What is this about? Okay, you're the operant power. Is it about communication? Is it that SP is not stepping up the way you want them? You have to still hold to the vision. You've got this. You're powerful. Okay, relationship was going really well. And although you had a fight, you could look at that fight as something valuable. There's something that's coming up, right? That's value. It's value. It's something coming up from within you that's reflected out. So just look at the value, because you have an opportunity to fix this, or you have an opportunity to see a new perspective. You have an opportunity to create and align with a stronger relationship and a committed relationship that just keeps getting better and better. Okay. So use this as the opportunity to just tweak what you already have. Of Fiery Vixen. I've been so much more positive since your comment to me last. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm glad. And stick with it, because you will see results. If you haven't seen results already reflected in your world, you will. You just have to persist. This is a very important aspect of recreating your reality, or, this is reality creation, right? So the really important aspect is that you have to persist. You have to stay consistent and persist in your mind, no matter what the circumstances say. How do I get rid of guilt when it comes to I done the relationship? He told others about them, and he told to others about them. Okay, so what you told, okay, so your SP was telling others about maybe something you've done within the relationship that you feel guilty about. First of all, you're going to forgive, right? First, you forgive yourself. You know you're the operant power. You created whatever experience, even whether it was conscious or unconscious. Forgiveness is important. So you're forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself, like for you know not what you do. All this living life it's a process, and it's all okay. And we all make mistakes, whether it's a mistake or not, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, for you know not what you do. Those are really powerful words that were from the Bible, right? Now, forgive others, forgive him, because he's only a reflection of something within you. Remove the guilt by forgiving yourself and understanding that this is all okay. This is part of life, and part of life is figuring it out. And we don't all have it figured out. We're working on it, and it's okay to allow yourself to make a mistake, right? If sometimes we beat ourselves up too much about making a mistake, or we did this or that, stop beating yourself up. Give yourself the love that you want. Give yourself understanding that you want. Allow yourself to say, whether it is a mistake or not, if you made a mistake or you did something that you didn't, you wish you hadn't done, just decide that's okay. You're going to give yourself a break. Okay. And then now recreate the story. Recreate the story. You're forgiven. All is forgiven. Empress, how do you deal with losing a loved one when manifesting? Well, do you understand? Do you understand that you are one with everything, unseen and seen, everything in the physical world, everything that is non-physical, you are one with. You're not separate. This loved one has never really gone away. That this loved one there's an appearance of death, right? Like Neville Goddard would say, this is the world of death. And we came here for this experience. So the loved one, you could feel the love, the presence of this loved one. Okay. Are you talking about someone who passed away when you say losing a loved one? Okay. So you can feel the presence of anyone. And if this is about a death, you are actually an eternal, infinite being, living eternally, infinitely. And same with every single person in your reality and your experience, everything. How do you deal with the pain of a breakup and try to manifest him back? Moving my camera here. Okay, well, so first of all, do you remember Do you know, whether or not you remember it, I don't know. Do you understand and know that you're the operant power? Do you know that you create your reality? Do you know and understand that the breakup is a result of what's happening within you? It's not outside of you. It's not from any circumstance outside of you. The world is a mirror reflecting what you have going on within. What you have going on within about the story about yourself, the story about you in regard to a relationship. So this whole experience happened because of you. And it's not about blame, and it's not about anything other than you recognizing that you have the power to change your experience. Okay, so doesn't that give you some hope and some excitement to know, even though you created it, it came from you. Your whole world is your consciousness pushed out. So if you unconsciously created this breakup and this pain, it was a reflection of the way you felt inside. Okay, so you're going to look for the value. That's how you get through the pain. You're going to find the value. The value is you're here working on yourself. You're here working on personal growth and development. You're here realizing that you are the operant power and that you do have the power to make and change your reality. Any circumstance, you have the power to do that. But in order to do that, you need to see a new vision. So start seeing the new vision of, start being more empowered, start to get into the powerful, confident version of you who could look at what happened, because what happened was for a reason. It wasn't for a reason. It was a reason that was reflected from you, right? It happened for a reason from you. So the breakup was, what was it? Because now is the time that you could go within and you could start to see a new perspective. You could work on this. Now, so how to manifest him back? You start seeing yourself as number one. You see yourself as a priority, as a prize. Why did the breakup happen? On some level, you weren't happy. That's why the breakup happened. Or on some level, maybe it was insecurity. Maybe it was jealousy. Maybe you didn't feel something was missing. Whatever it was, whatever your idea of, if I ask you, why did you break up? You're going to have some ideas about that. So whatever those ideas are, now you have to become the opposite. Become the opposite of the reason why you broke up. This is your opportunity to build yourself up, to be more confident, to be more sure of yourself, to live your dream life. Okay, so you could do this now. Hi, Madison. Seeing SP's name for the past 2 weeks, does that mean it's close? Yes, it means it's close. That's birds before land. That's your world reflecting where you're focused. Remember, you're giving meaning to everything in your reality. It does not have meaning outside of what you think it means. And some of the things that we've given meaning to, we've given meaning based on other people's beliefs or whatever we believe reality to be, right? So you're going to give it good meaning. Yes, not even that it's close, it's done. It's done. It's done. Now walk through your day, walk through your life knowing it's done. Fall asleep tonight in the fulfillment of knowing it's done. Melody, his friends are having negative influence on our relationship and I don't like his friends. Remember, your reality is your consciousness pushed out. So this whole story that's happening is coming from you. It's all coming from you. You are the only thinker, the only creator in your perspective of reality. You're perceiving it this way. Sure, you're perceiving it this way because there's the reflection already happened, but it came from you. So what do you want? Whatever you want, go to the end and affirm that. Whatever story, it's a story. Life's a story. Tell the story. So could you imagine, it could be any story. It could be the story that his friends love you and they're always excited about you and they love that you have the relationship. You could imagine that, right? You could imagine that they're just too busy and your SP spends all his time with you. Okay, so what is it that you want? Because you could create it that way. Okay, so you don't like his friends, but When you don't like his friends, why do you think it's reflecting back that his you don't like his friends, and his friends are having a negative influence on your relationship? It's all coming from you. You could start to like his friends. You could start to see the best in his friends. You could start to see something different. Okay, been affirming for marriage with SP, but a previous SP is coming instead. Does that mean current SP is next? Yeah. Who is that? Madison, who also said that you kept saying their name. So do you see that what you're doing is working? This is what is really important, that you're giving good meaning to everything that you're seeing in your experience, right? In your reality. Give good meaning to it. Do you see that you've worked on yourself, your perception of yourself, and your world, which is a mirror of you, is reflecting back that is true? And then what you decide, because you're the operant power, you decide that, yes, this is the bridge of incidents. Yes, this is done. Yes, you get what you want. Why don't you just start claiming it? Why don't you start feeling really confident about that? Because that's really exciting. And when you see a reflection back in your world of other people, that's a great way to build your confidence in manifesting. Okay, so take that confidence that you're building because of the reflection showing you where you're at, right? The world's showing you where you're at. It's working. It's done. Kiara, I always remind myself that persisting is being consistent to myself and loving myself the way SP loves me. That's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. I love that, right? Persisting is being consistent to yourself. This is really all about you, all of you, right? All of us treating ourselves the way we want to be treated, being consistent. You have to be consistent with yourself. You have to be consistent in loving to yourself the way that you want to be treated from another. And that will be reflected in our world. Okay, somebody said, Melody was saying, same happened to me. Don't feel guilty. All girls and boys are crazy in their relationship. Yeah. And you could just assume like people get crazy, but you don't make a big deal about it. Like sometimes we get really crazy, but you know what? It always works out, right? It always works out. Alexia, I was assuming the worst and I was lurking and the worst manifested having been affirming otherwise. But okay, so you said I was assuming the worst. Okay, you were assuming the worst and the worst manifested. But do you understand that you have the power to change it? I want you to still look at that. You don't have to look at it as success, but I want you to observe that you're the creator and what you were thinking, whether it's negative or positive, it's being pushed out into your world. So if you pushed out the worst manifestation, you could push out the best. All you have to do is decide right now. And I know, okay, so you were assuming the worst, but you were also affirming otherwise is probably what it sounds like, right? And this is in a sense kind of common because you are affirming for what you want, but yet you're still fearing. You're fearing that you won't get it, or you're fearing. Let go of the fear. Do you know that we create fear? Fear does not exist. Fear does not, it exists, okay, but we're creating fear. If it's coming from you, you're the only one who's creating. You're the only one who has there's nothing to fear but the fear itself. Okay, so it's okay. First of all, can you decide that it's okay? Why? Because you could recreate it now. That's the power that you hold. The power you hold, I keep hitting this. The power that you hold is that you can change this now. Just look back. These are always great learning experiences. Even in my journey, when I felt like I was I was manifesting really good deliberately, and then all of a sudden hit the ground spiraling or whatever, right? Feeling like I just lost everything. But here's the thing. Those were the moments where I had the biggest realizations. And you will have huge realizations, which those realizations got me right back on target. And those realizations catapulted me to a deeper, newer, bigger understanding of how I was creating. So do you see how you could take value even though you manifested the worst? this is what you could do. Start to observe. What were you assuming? What were you feeling? This is your opportunity to change it. So manifestation is a process, and it's a learning process, and it's learning about the self, right? Okay. Know thyself. One of the most important aspects of reality creation is to know yourself, to know who you are. So you're just getting more clear on who you are, how you feel, what you really truly believe, what you really feel about your life, what you really feel about reality, and what you have, the assumptions that you hold. And I don't want to diminish what you're experiencing, but do you understand you could recreate it right now? So you might as well diminish it. If you diminish it and you're like, no big deal. Okay, now you're standing in your power. Stand in your power. Stand in the power and the knowing that you're the operant power. You can change it right now. Callie, what about neighbors who are super loud and immature just to spite you? It's coming from you. It's coming from you. Do you understand that your reality, everything is coming from your perspective? So, okay, so what do you want? What do you want? Do you want great neighbors who you get along, they just keep to themselves, or maybe you become friends? I mean, it could be whatever you want it to be, but you're creating this story, and you're creating the story unconsciously on some level, right? Because maybe you watched a bunch of movies where that was the topic of the movie, or the drama. You're used for many years, or for a lifetime, we're used to the drama of life. Okay. You have the power to change it, but you have to see something differently. Okay. So you could be super kind and respectful to them, and you could ask them, tell them what your desires and what your needs are. Like, could you guys keep it down? Would be really great if you could keep it down after 10 p.m. And then what you want to do is walk away, whether you say it to them or not. You have to affirm in your mind, those are the best neighbors. They're the greatest. Okay, great neighbors. I love that they're quiet. They keep to themselves. They do their own thing. I never know that they're there. If you want to change your reality, you have to speak to yourself as if you already have it. Okay. I mean, other things can happen. You could move. Maybe this is the perfect opportunity for you to go to the place. Maybe it's reflecting out because you've always wanted to move somewhere and you wanted to go, and this is your chance. Okay. So this is why it is important that you are listening within, because you are guided by your higher self. Take some time to meditate on this. Okay. So, I mean, without it talking to you, I don't know what your desire, what your ultimate desire is, but just focus and go with it, right? Go with it, or create what you do want. Just found out my SP has a new girl. How do I stay in my power? You stay in your power by, you don't take breadcrumbs, and you stay in your power by why are you spending so much time worrying about who the SP is, right? You should be spending more time in concerning yourself with you, living your life, seeing yourself as number one. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that SP has a new girlfriend. That's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of how you are perceiving your world. So what should you do to stay in your power? You're not going to spend time focusing on them. What's more important, focusing on you getting what you want, or focusing on that, third party and SP over here? What's more important? Because whatever you focus on, you'll create. Is it more important to focus on them? Then you'll recreate it. Even if you're focused on telling your friends how you can't stand it, you can't believe it, you're still spending more time on them, and you're creating them to stay in your life. If you want to live the dream and have the relationship you want, and have the, what that desire is, that end goal of the desire of being together, then you have to spend time focused on yourself. And spend no time giving it no importance in your life, right? Give more importance to yourself. And you stay in your power by seeing yourself as the prize. I have meditations in my playlist The self-concept meditations. Go to my self-concept meditations. Listen to I am the prize. I am chosen. Take those affirmations, whether you listen to them or whether you're affirming them. You have to see yourself as number one. So you're just going to be like, you're going to decide, I'm taking my power back. Right? Like start to just be that version of you. I'm taking my power back. I am the operant power. I get what I want. I am the most beautiful. I am the most loving. I radiate love that everyone's attracted to. I mean, that's a vision of living in the end. That's a vision of the version of you who gets what you want and has the things that you want. You understand circumstances don't matter, and you have the circumstance that exists is a projection of your consciousness. And it's malleable and it's flexible. So whatever you're focused on, whatever story you're telling is what's creating your reality. Amani, was I the cause of my husband cheating while I was pregnant? You understand, yes, your reality is your consciousness pushed out. In your reality, you're the operant power, which means everything's reflecting you. The answer is yes. So is it about guilt or shame or worry? No, this is understanding that you rise in your consciousness and you rise in understanding what you're creating. Okay, so what do you want? What do you want? Affirm what you do want and stay living in the end to what you do want. Now you can, so do you want to see, or do you want to kind of figure out like how this all happened? Just go back in your own mind and think, what kind of thoughts did you have? What kind of feelings did you have? Did you feel insecure? Did you feel unsure? Did you feel like you couldn't trust him? All of those feelings that you felt reflect out into the world. All those feelings that you feel, that's the reason why everything in your world is happening. Do you understand that nothing exists without you in your reality? So there are infinite versions of him, infinite versions of you, infinite versions of life existing right now. It all exists now. If you want to shift into have an experience, a life experience where you're with a loving, committed, loyal partner, husband, then you need to be that version of you. And you need to see, when you see that of yourself, the world reflects how you see yourself. If we have a really low self-esteem or a really low value of ourself, whatever we feel about ourselves or how we're treating ourselves is how others treat us. Okay, if you're someone who was a doormat that got walked on, it's because of the way that you feel about yourself. Okay, so I'm helping you see and understand that you're the operant power, and you do have the power to create a reality and experience and live a life that you do want by focusing on that life as if you already have it. Callie, that happens to me. They got married and pregnant. Needless to say, I moved on. And that is another option, right? All possibilities, all choices exist. You can move on. Okay? You can move on from it, but so move on from it and realize these experiences that we have make you realize what you truly want. You want to be a priority. You want to be heard. You want to be number one. You want to feel like the prize. You want to be seen. Then now decide that you have certain expectations of what you expect, in a relationship and how you expect to be treated. Yeah, Empress, you're welcome. And I'm so sorry about the sudden death. At the same time, I feel such a deep knowing that we're all infinite. And there's just you couldn't tell me otherwise. And I was someone who was terrified of death for probably my whole life, really until just maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Or 5 or 6 years ago. Okay, until I really started seeing that the world is reflecting me. And when you could see that the world is really the projection of your consciousness, it's literally like this is a waking dream. So nothing and no one ever dies. You can even have, actually when my dad passed away, I have lots of dreams about my dad. And my dreams with my dad are very real, and I could feel his presence, and I always know he's here protecting me. So do you see how you can actually start to see see something really beautiful out of, take the beautiful memories from this person and let that be, part of you in your heart. How long did you wait before deciding? I've been holding conviction for 3 years. So I want you to think about, and I know some other people were answering you, but the only thing you have is this present moment to live life. And if you are, this is really truly living in the end. Living in the end is right now you would be saying, I love life. I intend to love life, or I love life. I'm always looking for the best in life. So you should be living your joy right now. You should be living your joy right now, living in the end. Are you actually waiting? How long did you wait before deciding? Right there in that statement, you're saying you don't have it. So this is really an internal game of where are you? What is your perception? What are your true beliefs? Are you really holding on more to the fear of that they'll never come back? Or are you truly living life? Because living life, living your bliss, living joy, living in gratitude, that's going to be living in the end. This is a practice. Practice as if you miss nothing. You lack for nothing. What would it feel like to lack for nothing? What would it feel like if all your needs were met right now? This is a practice. That's something you can consistently ask yourself through the day. How could I feel right now that I have all my needs met? I intend all my needs are met. You can be meeting your needs also. You meet your own needs. Okay, roll off. I'm going to get the money. You have the money. It's already done. You're already in Barbados. Remember Neville Goddard's story? You're already in Barbados, okay? You already have the money because you imagined it. You imagined it, so you already have it because your imagination is first cause. So keep imagining it and keep knowing it, and you don't ever stop. If imagination creates reality, why would you ever stop? Right? I mean, I'm not saying you're stopping. You're not ever stopping. You're always deciding. You have it. Okay, Curtis, trying to get your bills paid off. You have to see your bills paid off. You have to state it. You're going to claim it. You're going to say, my debt is paid. All my debt is paid. What would it look like? You can even ask questions. Because I know, like, when you're in the midst of it, it can feel powerful to say, what if? Okay, this is how you put your mind and your focus on what you do want. What if I had an extra $1,000? What if all those bills were paid and now I have an extra $1,000? What would I do with it? Just you contemplating something like that is going to help you live in the end. So when you have a bill come in the mail and it feels overwhelming, right? Okay, but you have to remember you're the operant power. You could say affirmations like, I am money, I am wealth, I am wealthy. So you want to focus on an abundance mindset. Focus on the idea, which this is true. You could create a reality where money just flows in like it literally comes off the trees. But we don't believe that, right? We think you got to work hard, you got to work hours, you got to get a certain degree. Okay, that exists in the world, but do you know it also exists that money can just come into your life like easily and effortlessly? Okay, you could come up with an idea and create multi-million-dollar business from some invention. All those possibilities exist, but you have to put your focus there. So speak to yourself. With affirmations, you can create your reality. With affirmations, you can manifest. You're going to say, I am affirmations. I am wealthy. I am rich. I am destined for this lifestyle. I was born for greatness. I was born for prosperity. I am prosperous. Okay. You're just going to speak it into being. When you see a bill, you'll say, I intend this bill is paid. I'm going to somehow, some way, this is all working out in my favor. It is a persistent discipline. It's a discipline because you're going to remember you created the circumstance. So you can change the circumstance. Yeah, some people said to Kelly 10, manifest someone better, or to Kelly said to Kelly 10, manifest someone better so you don't settle. Sorry, it's not easy. I've been there. Right. I mean, sometimes it feels like it's not easy. But you understand the reason why sometimes I'm saying it's easy because I want you to start creating that. It wasn't easy for me also in the beginning. Even though it felt like it wasn't easy, I knew that if I wanted to create a reality where it was easy, I had to start claiming it. I had to start declaring it. I had to start imagining that possibility was part of my life. So start saying it. Okay. Like you're good. It's almost like you talk yourself into it. It doesn't feel easy, but I intend it's easy. This is going to be easy. I'm going to get there. I'm getting there. I'm getting better at this. This can be easy. I know it's possible. I've seen people out, like this is you, right? Giving a little rampage. I've seen people manifest in 2 and 3 days. This is possible, right? So you need to be more about the possibilities, and you just contemplate that for yourself. Okay. But the same thing, I think, manifest someone better. Well, here's what you should do. You just focus on you, and you're going to change your experience. Just focus on you. Okay? Who are you? How are you treated? What do you expect on a date? How do you expect someone to show up for you? How do you feel about yourself? You have to decide that you're a priority. Okay. How do you see yourself? You're the most beautiful, most attractive. How do you see yourself? That like people or whoever you like, you could create the reality. Whoever you like is always falling head over heels for you. Do you believe that possibility exists? Because you could create that. So this is why I'm saying work on you. This is why I created my self-concept course. This is why I get success from my self-concept course. You could do it in one day, but then you have to implement it every single day until the manifestation, you see the physical manifested form. First, you'll start to see, when you start to create the vision of you and you change your identity, you're transforming your identity. When you do this, you're going to see a reflection. If you're affirming, I am beautiful, I am a prize, I am amazing, your world is surely going to reflect it to you. It might be from your mom. Your mom might say, hey, you're just such a prize. That would be a reflection. And then maybe it's someone at work, like a colleague, saying, you know what, you're such a great person. And I know that you'll meet the right person that's a priority or that sees you as a priority. It will reflect back in your world. Someone else, some stranger might say, oh, you are just stunningly beautiful. If you affirm that, if you affirm, I am stunningly beautiful, and you do some mirror work about that, I don't have any doubt, because your world's a reflection, people will start telling you that. They will reflect it to you. If you start affirming, I am strong, people will reflect that back to you. They'll say, you're so strong. So this is where you should start. Start with affirmations about I am. You will speak about who you are. I am. And then it's important. You have to observe what's reflected back in your world. People are reflecting it back to you. You just have never been paying attention. Start paying attention. You have to pay attention. Okay. I think those are some of the first things I affirmed, like I am strong. I even affirmed my legs are strong. And like 3 people in a 2-week period told me, oh my God, no one had ever told me my legs look strong ever in my life. And until I started affirming it. And then 3 people in 2 weeks were like, the lady that was giving me a massage, she goes, oh my God, your legs are so strong. I was like, oh, okay. And then, my SP was like, your leg, do you wear those shorts at the gym? Your legs look so strong. I was like, oh, okay. So it was reflected in my world everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, this was in the beginning of my journey. I kind of still doubted it. I was like, okay, I knew it, but I doubted it. Okay, so this is why I'm saying pay attention. Observe your reality. Observe what people are saying to you. They are reflecting what you're saying about yourself. Are you saying, are you feeling insecure? Maybe not saying it, but you're speaking to yourself as like, I'm not pretty enough, or I don't know, maybe I'll never find love. Well, then you're creating that reality and you haven't been paying attention. Okay, so this is your time. You're waking up. You're going to take control of your life. You take back your power. same thing. I mean, someone better will show up, whether it's a new version of your SP or someone better. Many people, many suitors showing up when you focus on that you're amazing and you're the ultimate choice and you're the prize. SP is back, but not yet committing, just like F-boy energy. Okay, how do I shift this? Well, you're perceiving it as that, right? And you're giving it some sort of definition based on past experiences. You have to disregard that. Okay, you have to stop saying it. Okay, you have to start saying he is committed. Keep going to the end. If he's giving you this energy, which you're creating, by the way, right? You're creating it, but you're defining it that way. And then he keeps reflecting it. He keeps saying, yep, let me confirm that to you. Oh, you said fuckboy energy? How about we go out tonight at midnight? Why don't you come over to my place? He's reflecting it. Okay. It came from you originally because you're first cause. So you can change it. This is the biggest question, but how to change it? Okay, how to change it? Well, you set your priorities and your standards. Okay, what are your boundaries? You say, no. He says, come on. Hey, why don't you come over tonight? It's 2 a.m. or whatever. And he says, come on over. Let me come over to your house. And you say, no. Or, I mean, you could say, yeah, but you don't want to define it as that. You define it, he's coming over because he's madly in love with you. But you have to see it that way and only that way. You can't see it any other way, because if you see it the other way, you're going to get the other way. Okay, so do you understand? There are infinite ways to recreate your reality. And I'm just giving you different ways and different ideas. I mean, if I were working with you one-on-one, I would give you the best idea for what, based on our conversation, what you need and what I know will work for you. But since that's not really a dialogue, I'm just giving you different ideas that could work for you. Okay. So now focus less on him and focus more on you. Okay. Who are you? You're the type that people commit to. You're the type. I heard somebody talk, I don't know who it was, but yesterday, some video I was watching, and she said, it was just kind of a relationship person, right? Not really manifesting, but just relationship. And she said, okay, if the guy was going out with his celebrity crush, do you think that he would just do the bare minimum? No, he would be like, let me show you, let me go all out, let me try to impress you. Why don't you decide that that's who you are? Like, start to place yourself in that kind of identity. Be the identity that you are the priority. And you can do that by imagining like you are the crush and you are the ultimate choice. And when you feel that way, it's going to reflect where he's trying to show you, impress you, but you have to feel that way about yourself. So you decide. Okay, can you look in the mirror and say, I'm someone that people commit to. I'm someone that he's madly in love with. I'm someone that, I'm the goddess. I am goddess energy or God energy, whatever it is, right? This is how you shift. You asked, how do you shift from this? By just deciding that you are the ultimate catch, the ultimate choice. There is no one who compares to you. You are a masterpiece. You are unique. You're like the one that everyone's like, they wish they had the opportunity with you. I mean, okay, so it doesn't have to be exactly that. I'm painting a picture. I'm giving you ideas. What do you want to feel? Did you just want to feel like I'm the girl next door and I'm the perfect wife? It could be that. It could be whatever you want it to be. You're creating it already, but you're creating it, all of us, right? Until you wake up and you take conscious control, we create reality based on different beliefs that we hold about people we interacted with, people who told us who we are. We watch movies and we think, oh, should I be this way? We didn't really know we were creating our own reality. You are creating reality. It's not the other way around. It's not reality happening. It's coming from you and through you. Okay, so you change it by changing the story about you. Hi, Caleb. How to stop looking at the 3D of seeing the other person and her younger brother on Instagram. why you just have to keep staying loyal to the vision of you. Okay, you have to spend less time thinking, putting her up on a pedestal. You see her on Instagram. Why don't you see her and her brother and think that's my girlfriend? Why don't you decide that? You see her on Instagram and go, oh, I love her. Her brother's just the best guy. That's living in the end. Do you want to live in the end of a relationship where the two of you are, like that? Living in the end is like you would just know she's beautiful. She's mine. And do you want her brother to, like, you guys totally get along? He thinks you're the greatest. He looks up to you. Just imagine that. Why don't you imagine he looks up to you? He thinks you're like you're so great. What the greatest guy, that his sister, he's so pleased and so excited that his sister has the best guy. That's you, but you have to see that. So how do you stop looking at the 3D? Well, you're going to remember. Why are you forgetting you're the operant power? You're forgetting that. You forgot you're the operant power. And okay, so that's okay. You're getting better at this. You're getting so good at this. You are so good at this. Let's say it that way. You're so good at this. You're so good at this. Okay, remember, when we start affirming something, it feels like, really, but I'm not. No, you have to keep saying it until you silence that voice that says, no, you're not. I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this. I know how to manifest. I know how to manifest a specific person. I know how to manifest money. I know that I'm powerful. I know I'm the operant power. I know that I'm the greatest catch ever. I know that people love and adore my company. I know that I'm a great person. Okay, whatever you want, right? Go general if it feels the best. So just say general things about yourself. I'm a really great catch. I'm a really nice person. Wouldn't it be great to be in a relationship with you? That's what you have to think about yourself. It'd be great to be in a relationship with me. I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm really comfortable to be around. I'm really a nice person. I'm kind. I always try to see the best in everyone. I mean, like, what is it, right? Like, you can just go general and start from there, or work up from there. Work general until you get to like more conviction. I'm the ultimate catch. I came back from work. My dad reflected back of being the old version of me, of telling other people. That's your opportunity not to let that be a circumstance that changes your decision about you and where you are. Okay. So he reflected something back, old version, and he's telling other people, whatever. My relationship with SP, and old memory of that situation, just being with them. Okay. So he brought that up, but in that moment, if you're standing and he's right in the room with you telling that story, that's your opportunity. Just like change the topic. You're the operant power. Just change the topic, and don't give it all this worry. And I don't know if you're worrying, but don't be worrying about it or wondering like what's going back. Are you going backwards? No, you're the operant power. You change the subject. You go in your imagination and you affirm, no, this is done. That you're not accepting that reality. Or you could even say that's not true. Why not just say that's not true? I mean, don't be afraid of your reality. You could say anything you want. That's not true. That's not true. You don't have to believe it. Why are you going to believe, right? Don't believe what others are saying. You don't have to adopt that belief or take that belief. Plus, having a flashback of being someone that tells other people about me, and my SP comparing myself to other person. Okay, well, you're comparing yourself to someone else. Are you doing that? Don't compare yourself to anyone. You have to stop doing that. You are going to decide that your thoughts are value. Okay, like Neville Goddard's wife had the story about how the value of your thought, right? Every thought is an investment. She had like a dream. Neville Goddard's wife had a dream about it. And she woke up and said to Neville, something about our thoughts are an investment. Your thoughts are an investment. What are you going to invest in? Are you going to invest your thoughts in a story that you're comparing yourself to others? Okay, I get it. You had a flashback. And just remind yourself that's who you used to be. That's okay. Or, like whatever. You had that experience, some of who you used to be, and just decide you're someone new now. You decide it. You say, I'm someone new right now. You are someone new right now. Even who you were 5 minutes ago versus now, you're someone new. So you could keep deciding you're someone new right now. You're more powerful right now. You are the operant power now. You are confident now. You don't compare yourself to anyone. You only compare yourself to where you were and where you're going, and that's it. So you are really good, Caleb. You're always really great at all the advice you give in my lives are amazing. You're right on target. Okay, now just apply it back to your own life. Okay, because you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Sometimes we could see what others are doing, and it's easy to, that's actually you helping others here is building a stronger version of you, understanding how you create. So it's great that you're helping. That's helping solidify you knowing that you're the operant power. Now just see yourself that way. See yourself the way you want to be seen. Just decide you are. Just decide you already are. Okay, Madison asked, what's the difference between someone who gets their SP in 1 week versus someone who gets them in months? Well, someone who's manifesting their specific person very quickly has probably already been working on their self-concept, and maybe something just clicks with them. Maybe they just have, like for me, it clicked with me. I just had a realization. I had a realization instead of, I was being the victim for a while, right? Like I lost everything. I was in the victim mentality. And then something reflected in my world and I just had a realization. And it's a shift in your mindset. It's a shift in your perspective. And you could just have that shift happen quickly and immediately. That's the difference. But you're a conscious creator. So you could decide it's done. You could decide, why don't you just decide that you're someone who manifests like in a week? Why don't you decide that? But here's the thing. So here's where people kind of fall off the horse. Today you're like, okay, I am someone that can manifest in a week and it's done and I did it. And now it's like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a whole week passes. And then now it's the 8th day, and then you don't have if your manifestation didn't materialize, now have you, this is what determines whether or not you get your manifestation quickly. If that week passes and now it's on day 8, first of all, we shouldn't be counting days, but just this is for the purpose of an example, right? Like this one day, all of a sudden one day you said, oh, it didn't work. Well, you're also affirming and creating that it didn't work in that moment. And the reason you're actually stating it is because it's really the true belief that you hold within. The true belief you hold within is like, it didn't work. Okay. So the person who's going to really manifest maybe in that next day or like very quickly is the person who says, oh no, I got this. It's already done. It already happened. It's already mine. I create my reality. It's the person who doesn't stop persisting. The person who doesn't stop persisting. Why is it taking months? The person where it takes months to manifest is still looking towards the future. The person who it's taking months is still seeing separation. Your reality is not separate from you. It's coming from you. So you have to understand it's your reality is yourself pushed out. So the person who manifests quickly is realizing and understanding that like you're one with everything. Okay. Some of them, right? Okay. The person who it's taking time, you're seeing more of the separation. You're seeing distance. You're thinking it's in the future instead of now. You could be feeling like lonely and you could be afraid. You could feel someone who feels the fear that it's never going to happen is actually more in fear and manifesting the fear and without maybe sometimes even without realizing it. You're in the state of fear and you're manifesting the experience that it's not happening. What's the solution? The solution is meditate on the idea and the knowing that you are one with your world and that the world is a reflection of your consciousness. Okay, when you understand this, you're going to see like your world is just shifting. Okay, so things come into my life pretty quickly. And if something didn't come into my life, I'm not going to keep saying, oh, it didn't happen. No, I'm going to say, you know what? I know it's already done. And that's okay. I've got this. It's done. And I'm going to keep talking myself into it. I'm going to keep reminding myself, no, this is done. It's okay. And if I know it's done and if I know it's okay, I'm not worried about it. And I'm not wondering how many times a day should I affirm. Okay, I'm just going to keep affirming it. I'm just going to keep claiming it. I'm going to say, nope, I already know this is mine. Caleb, he said, don't focus on the time, how long it takes to get them, because time doesn't exist. So it's a practice. It is a practice to remember, okay, think about how this is the only moment that exists, right? The present moment, this is the eternal now. This present moment is the only moment that exists. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. So in your imagination, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is actually your real experience and what you're imagining. So that's why if our subconscious mind is pushing everything out into the world, you have to just keep looping that experience. Whether you affirm it, you just keep affirming it. I have it, I have it, I have it. It's already done. Can you practice feeling? What does it feel like to have something? And maybe you need to tweak that a little bit. And maybe tomorrow when you wake up, why don't you just decide, what does it feel like that it's already done? What does it feel like if someone's looking for a job and they don't have a job, and then they go on this interview and they got the job, but the job doesn't start for 30 days. So got the job, but it doesn't start until 30 days. So right now, that person knows they have the job. Like just put yourself in in the shoes and put yourself looking through the lens of someone who you already have that. Okay, it's not physically, that person's not physically sitting in the chair in the job, but they are like, there's a sense of relief, right? Like, oh, got it done. If you went on that interview, it's like a sense of relief. They called you back. They said, you got the job. Well, maybe you're even going out celebrating with friends. Maybe you just have this sense of relief. Okay, so practice. Now, ask yourself and practice this. Okay, you wake up tomorrow. I want you to do this. Wake up tomorrow and just say, wait a minute, I already got it. And don't think about it's going to be in 30 days. Okay, try to compare and contrast. Like, what does it feel like that someone has the job even though they're not physically there? So you have to go into just feel that it's done. Know that it's done. What does that feel like, that you know you have this job, or you know you have the relationship, or you know you have the money? Okay, just practice it. It's a little bit of a practice. Mariella, guy at the gym always stares but never says hey. Well, why don't you imagine that he says hey? So why don't you test this out? Put it into works. You have to put it into the testing. Okay, so you're like, oh, that guy's staring at, he's checking you out, right? And you're kind of talking about, and then you're like, yeah, but he never says hey. He's never saying, he doesn't come near me. He's over there. No, now why don't you imagine tonight, as you fall asleep tonight, imagine you're talking to one another. Do you want to go on a date? You could imagine you're already on a date. What if you were on a date and he's sitting across from you and he is just the kindest man? He's just like the kindest guy. He's making you laugh. You feel at ease. Create that imaginal scene, because whatever you're imagining, you'll be creating that reality. So keep looping that in your mind instead of he never says hey. That's what you're picturing, and that's outpictured in your world. Instead of picturing, oh, he's over there, we're not together, picture together. Picture dinner. Picture in your mind holding hands. And you don't have to see a vivid picture. You could just affirm it. Because if I said we are holding hands, I'm picturing holding hands. I could feel someone's hand in my hand, even if I didn't know what his hands were like. You're creating everything. So you're actually, if you visualize something, you could create exactly what his hands look like. Okay. If you want to test that, if you want to go to that degree to test things, you can test it also. What restaurant, or where are you going? Like, start to think about that. Imagine it. You are already in Barbados. It already happened. You already went out on several dates. And he's enamored with you. What does he think about you? He thinks, oh, wow, you're stunning. You're so sweet. You're so beautiful. You radiate this love. You're so attractive. Everything about you is attractive. Your personality is amazing, right? Like, these are the things you could just assume. Because sometimes we're assuming, oh my God, do I look good in this outfit? Or does this look bad? Did I have a hair bad day or bad hair day? When those unconscious, insecure thoughts, okay, get a wrangle of those, because he's only yourself pushed out. And I'm not saying you have any of those. I'm just saying be aware of those. Okay, do you think, oh, maybe I'm not approachable? Or do you have maybe you have a belief like, well, people, you wouldn't want like some people, I've heard this, like maybe you don't want to meet someone at the gym because what if something happens now, what? Okay, well, you don't want to assume any of that because you create your reality. Why don't you assume that it works out and he's everything you desire? Meditate on your higher self. All the answers are within you. For any of you, when you don't know what to do, when you have questions, just meditate in silence. Connect to that inner voice. There is an inner voice giving you ideas, giving you guidance. You just have to listen for it. Okay, remember what you imagine. Why would you want to imagine someone dropping dead? Okay, remember, everything's yourself pushed out. You just imagine they move away. My perception, because I've manifested the good and the bad, and I've seen it all. I only think of the golden rule, and I would never imagine something like that. Okay, I'm not saying, I know it's not like we shouldn't judge our manifestations, but that reality exists. Okay, what reality do you want to experience? And plus, if we're imagining people dropping dead, how do we know if you all of a sudden you see other people dropping dead in your reality? Okay, I don't even want to talk about this. Let's talk about living life. Let's talk about good neighbors. Let's talk about seeing the best in people. Okay, I mean, we don't need to be afraid of it, but we could be deliberate about how you create your reality. And I value the same thing that Neville Goddard teaches, the golden rule, and most metaphysical teachers, because they speak and value the golden rule. Because if everyone's yourself pushed out, why would you imagine the worst for anybody? If you're going to be experiencing it, okay? So imagine the best for everybody. You know you can create that they are the best neighbor by seeing the best in them. Okay, there's infinite ways. You could just imagine, oh, I don't know, they're just gone. Never saw them again. Just never saw them again. They must have moved. Okay, SP doesn't want a relationship. Do I just persist or self-concept? You have to stop saying SP doesn't want a relationship. Remember, ignore circumstance, but it is very important that you recreate the story, okay? Yes, you persist, okay? But when they said they don't want a relationship, what you should be kind of perceiving of your world is, okay, so that's some old reflection, some old belief, and you decide that's not true because you create your reality, so you persist. But I would say, yes, persist in your self-concept, okay? You're the person, like if... Just the example I gave earlier, if someone's going out with their celebrity crush, they are going to do everything and anything to make sure that that celebrity crush is impressed and feeling valuable and feeling adored and a priority. Okay, so why don't you assume that's who you are? That you're someone that people, they show up for you. So what does that feel like? What does it feel like to know it's like you're shown up for. You're shown up for. And you're treated like the most valuable, important person. What does that feel like? Well, you have to treat yourself that way. You see yourself that way. You treat yourself that way. In the world, your SP will reflect. Okay, your SP will reflect. And you don't even necessarily have to focus on your SP. You focus on yourself being that version of you. It'll just naturally happen. It might be more people also. It could be SP, and it will be a new version of your specific person. You guys are powerful. I want you to remember you're the operant power. You have all the answers. You have infinite wisdom within. Remember, you can affirm and you can pull that all out of within you. You can pull that out of you. The infinite wisdom that you hold. You are one with the subconscious mind of everything. So you do have the answers. So start affirming, I have the answers. I know what to do. I'm always guided. I'm guided to the right opportunities in the right place. Okay, you're the operant power. You guys, I love you all. Have an amazing night. Go to sleep intending how you're going to sleep and what you're going to wake up feeling. And you're waking up into your desired reality. You always wake up living your dream life. Okay, I love you all. Have an amazing night. Bye.